What's up with this new video that I'm recording? So if you didn't notice that I actually got suspended from school 10 years ago, right? And yeah, today is October 2nd, 2025, and I got suspended back in high school. Like, man, I could not believe 10 years went by so fast, right? And the video is still on YouTube, right? But yeah, it was published on October 1st. That's the day I actually got suspended on school. So just have to listen to the video and see, what happened about this, right? And my reaction, after like so many years has been changed, and my thinking, my thoughts has been changed, my maturity has changed, right? As you see this video, I was 10 years younger, right? So do I look a lot different? I mean, look at this. This is me 10 years ago. I know you could not see the view, see my face, but if you just maybe I should put the link below and you see what I look like, right? So yeah, I do look a little different. I definitely look 10 years older. But yeah, my face hasn't changed, but except I'm a lot slimmer, a lot skinnier, right? So yeah, this 10 years old video. So got suspended from school and how to avoid being suspended, right? So I cannot remember everything I said in this video, but it was not that helpful. But I think I can add a lots of things to it now because I'm getting smarter. I probably know way more than I did before, right? I mean, I was still very new to YouTube in 2015. I'm been on YouTube for like 10 years already, so yeah, a lot of things have changed. And obviously the videos is only record up to 15 minutes. Is obviously because of your restriction is all that stuff. I wasn't allowed to record longer than 15 minutes. But now like all the restrictions are okay. Maybe because I was kind of new. So yeah, if you're kind of new to YouTube, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. That's for sure. Comparing if you spend years and years on YouTube, you're gonna be like much better, right? And also depends how much work you put in. So let's see what I have to say for myself, and you just listen to this video and I'm gonna react to this. I'm gonna pause the video every time, because there's something, I have to add this, right? If I was in this same situation just now, or 10 years ago, if I go back 10 years ago and with this mindset now, then the way I said is definitely going to be a whole different thing, right? So there's also a missing point that I definitely want to point out in that video. So, and also it makes a video, like part 1, part 2 of being suspension. Like I said, I wish we can combine the video, but there's just no feature, or maybe I don't know how to use the feature. So let's just get it over with. Don't want this long video to go too long. So it's 15 minutes, so it's gonna be like 20 or 30 minutes long. Let's just get it over with. Hello everybody, today is October 1st of 2015. Okay, 10 years ago. Yeah, I just got suspended from school today for like hurting another student named Abraham, the kid in my first period art class. Yeah, this happened yesterday, so that's why I got suspended today for just 1 day suspension. Okay, a 1 day suspension, right? Now, usually suspension, happen, for several days. It just depends on severity, right? I'm like, is this a harsher punishment? Maybe this is the first offense. Like, I don't know the rules of the school, but yeah, you definitely need to be punished, held accountable for this. So you definitely need to be grounded from your parents, right? But I don't know what type of punishment. I already forgot because it's 10 years already. So some people do the same thing, but they don't get punished as hard. So yeah, I'm gonna make a separate video about holding to a standard, because not everybody gets the same amount of punishment when they do this wrong thing, right? Some people do the same wrong thing, but some people get less severity punishment, unless if it's for a specific reason. So because I got called to the principal office, what I've been done today, No, you did expect this. I know you were really immature back in high school. Don't lie to me, man. See, that's a lie. So, to be honest, man, I did a lot of stupid things in high school, and I wasn't got caught for that. Just because you haven't gotten in trouble for like 5, 10 years, 15 years, I don't care how many goddamn years, you're eventually gonna expose, you eventually will get caught. The only reason why you see me having get in trouble for so long is because you never got caught. But you did something stupid in between those times. So people just either don't tell on you or either you're just not caught. That's another thing. 2 years without being in trouble, not impressive. Gotta do better than this.
Which nearly 2 years, which the last incident happened like October 30th.
Okay, so close to
All
2
my
years.
behavior.
It was October 31st,
It's all my behavior.
2013.
Things I've
Behavior,
really
yeah.
behaved lately have been messing around and annoying the heck out of students.
That's what you always do.
It's not good.
Yeah, and you continued. You continued this way. And you probably continue even now, looking at yourself 10 years later. See, I don't look happy you're hearing about this. I mean, you definitely deserve this, man. Maybe even worse.
The reason why I attacked Abraham yesterday is because he told me to shut up because he wants me to stop talking about that shitty Shrek.
Okay, man. Okay, I just have to listen to it.
Stuff. I just kept going. Then I grabbed the kid, Abraham arm, and scratched him with 4 fingers, and his skin was bleeding. His skin got ripped off.
So you scratch a kid's in his arm, right? You scratch it. Boy, you have some issues, man. Okay, just continue. Next few minutes, and then I'll talk it over.
I use all my strength on him. If I use all my strength on him, if I use my violent force, I could have knocked him out. One good thing I didn't use all my strength. The strength I used was pretty much about 20% of my strength. I didn't know Abraham would be hurt that badly. He would tell on me. I know I've been a really bad student lately. So. Yeah, because I get out of control. That's why I get in trouble very frequently. And I've been doing this for 16 years. Well, the first few years you don't recognize my behavior problem is because it was so minor you don't see it. But when I started to attend second grade, that's the first time I deal with a student named Kevin. That's my first time getting in trouble. So
Yeah, kids do this all the time, get in trouble, right? When they just act immature. Well, you were just, 6 or 7. Why do you mention your past behavior, right? How does that help you, being suspended in school? How does that help you? It doesn't, right? Of course, kids are gonna act stupid all the time, right? And you are 17 years old in this video. I was 17 years old in this video, right? 17 years old, you're very close to being an adult, right? And you attack Abraham, right? Doesn't matter, man, if you hit him or you give him a little scratch or something like that. You cannot do this at all, right? Just imagine if you're growing up, you do this out in public, you're gonna get into serious trouble, right? So school is teaching me a lesson, right? Talking to myself 10 years ago, right? Teaching me a lesson, right? Saying that this is not okay, right? This school is supposed to teach you the right things, to avoid, to be successful in life and to avoid, you get into your serious, trouble with the law, right? The law does not look after you until you're really 18. They still look after you 24/7, but once you're 18, then they'll take you a lot more seriously, right? I know teenagers are not mature yet, but they need to they need to develop a really good habit at a young age, because when you're adult and by the time you know and you teach them this, then they're not gonna mature, right? They won't, because their brains already developed, right? Yeah, and okay, let's just continue. And why are you always talking about Shrek all the time, right? Why you had to be so weird? That's another thing with YouTube, you know. It's also YouTube needs to be held accountable, you know. You don't. I'm about to talk about this, like this AI restriction thing, right? There's a lot of things that's supposed to not be on YouTube, and kids are looking at this, and now they all act so goofy. This is exactly what happened. This is what I'm talking about. I got in trouble part of the reason because YouTube just gave too much freedom. They need rules, man. If something is inappropriate, people need to flag the video, right? Report it to YouTube, and YouTube will have to take this down as quick as possible. Right? That's why you got to report on YouTube, right? Just in case, you know, something isn't going right, or a video, you know, that is sending, you know, misinformation or harmful content, right? Yeah, I accidentally, you know, this is how I watch, you know, Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life. How I found that video is because I was watching some random video, you know, people make a video on this angry German kid, right? And then, you know, yeah, that user should have got in trouble for that. Should have just edited that out. The video should already flagged it, but whatever, man. Let's just go for it. I don't need to hear this part. Who cares?
This is why I got suspension. I'm freaking mad at myself.
You should be.
Suspended today.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I didn't know I could get suspended this year because I'm a senior. I'm supposed to know better. I didn't stop doing those 16 years. I never stopped.
Of course you did, right? And you don't even want to try, right? Yeah, you did something dumb, you know, you should be ashamed, right? That could be easily be avoidable if you were a lot more patient and if you control your anger. That's all I have to say. And to this day, controlling an anger is an issue. It is.
I never listen to people. Why do we just say yes for fun?
Of course you did a lot of time.
Stop acting like
This is why I'm so mad at myself for so many years.
yes. I said yes for fun. And I knew I was lying. I never listen. I never take people's word. And this is why I got suspended. If you want to stop getting suspended, you listen to people's word. If they tell you to stop or shut up, you have to do it. If you don't listen to people, or if people tell you to stop, it will be. If the student
I don't know if you can hear what I'm saying in this
who said
video.
that you're harassing them, you better stop, or tell the teacher on.
So maybe I could not hear that well, or maybe you guys cannot hear that well, but I'm just gonna put the link in the video below. Yo, this is me, yo, reacting to this. It's a good thing, yo, I have not seen this in a long time, so what I'm saying, it should be more valid, because I don't watch my videos very frequently, right? And if it gets so old, I might forget, you know, what I'll say. This is why I have to watch the whole thing, right? That's the whole point of me making this video. That's the whole point, right? So, yeah. I mean, you're gonna remember something well, but eventually you're gonna forget. Period, right? Because you don't live forever, your brain doesn't live forever, your body does not live forever. So things just keep going on and on. Lots of things happen in life, keep going on and on and on, right? So, yeah. The only way to remember is you just have to replay it, right? This is why a lot of people want to watch their old video. Like, it's not weird. It's just like they forget, what's happening. So you have to rewatch it. That's why I love recording. Can you see that?
You get suspended.
Now I'm an adult, 27 years old.
You notice something?
Of course you're a senior. You're supposed to be a lot more smarter than this, right? Like I said again, you're hitting adulthood in about less than a year, right?
As I get older, my behavior gets worse. Because
That's not
from
good.
second grade, I be a student, and then I get beat 3 times already.
Yeah. Yeah, you deserve to get beat up. Cause you act like an asshole. Well, excuse my language, right? If you don't act right, if you don't treat people right, then somebody's gonna beat you up, right? I'm lucky that kid did not beat me up, right? 10 years ago. Lucky that, right? Of course he knew he's gonna get in trouble, right? He knew, right? So
Because I'm being very annoying to other people. That's why everyone in school hates me. Okay, in summer 2006,
of course, nobody wants to be around, this annoying dude, right? Of course. Common sense.
went to Bahamas. I keep splashing water to annoy people or something. I don't remember, but
Why do you mention your past behavior for? What for, man? Right? You're literally doing the same thing as you get older, right? Like, isn't your parents supposed to hold you accountable, right? I know my mom hold me accountable, but I wish my dad was a little more stricter on me, because this is where, a child needs to be a lot more sensitive, right? If a woman hold you accountable, your mother hold you accountable, I mean, you're still gonna be sensible. You won't be sensitive as when the father, right? The father will need to be spanked and beat, right? But yeah, my father was not very strict on me when I was young, and that is a problem. People need to grow up with a real father, right? Yeah, so maybe some part I can skip because I already remember this, right? Even though I haven't, think about this in a long time, but
they punched me in the nose and I was bleeding, and then try and fight back, but I didn't because my uncle wanted me to stop, grab me, and I hit him. And luckily, I didn't get in trouble. In second and third grade, a boy named Tomani punched me in the nose because I annoyed the heck out of him.
mm-hmm.
And then I started crying. And
Ray told me this. My friend Ray did.
a tall,
Yeah, talk about. Yeah, I did got beat up several times when I was young. I'm not gonna lie about it. And yeah, kids, a lot of us cannot control our anger, and if we get really mad, then we're gonna beat you up, right? It's not just me, it goes the same thing for everyone, right? So yeah, we're not immune, to being beat up. We are not immune. No.
that guy.
Okay, you mentioned some random dude just beat you up just because you annoy him back in Mission Valley Elementary like almost 20 plus years ago.
Suspended. Just stay out of trouble. Just listen to people's word. They tell you to stop, you stop.
Well, that's partially I agree, but you didn't explain the whole thing. Well, I'm not a therapist and I'm not an expert, but they should explain way more than this. So this is just me, raw reaction. So I don't know what else to say.
Be quiet. Tell you shut or shut up. Or anything.
I'm like, seriously, you've been talking too much, back in high school just because you want attention, right? Boy, what's these kids these days, right? Yeah, I get you want to talk a lot, right? You want some attention, right? But this is not how you do it, right? You're just doing it the wrong way. You're grabbing attention.
Yeah, stop. Anyway, I'll review my behavior for those last 16 years.
Why? Okay, you're being repetitive.
Up to second grade, my behavior wasn't that bad.
Well, I still have that issue right now, so
So, yeah,
that did not change.
Year, I started to beat people more frequently than I did in my second grade year. In my fifth year, I get suspended. In my fifth grade year, I get suspended like pretty much every month. then I have to go to see a psychologist or a doctor to see what's wrong with my behavior.
Oh, so basically, let me recap with this video. So, just mentioning all these young things, but yeah, you were getting a lot more. I was getting a lot more aggressive, in my childhood. This is why I beat up so many people, right? For like no reason, or for just I just get angry, right? Yeah, that's basically what I said. Basically just a recap there.
And he kind of solved my problem. He told me to stay calm, count 1 to 10. Yeah, I've been being a lot of people.
Did you follow that advice? I don't think so. Then why are you still doing it?
And then starting my
You count to 1 to 10, you should stop immediately. Here's another thing to avoid, be concentrated. Just stop and think, right? But people just do it based on their feeling. So that's another thing, like why is it? Yeah, I mean, people just listen to this feel like 99% of the time. This is why, they just don't want to, do the thinking or avoid, living in reality, right? They're too emotional, right? Let's just call it what it is. You're too emotional, right? You think there's not going to be a consequences, but there is. And you got it, and then you end up being upset. So yeah, this is on you. This is on me, right? This is on me, younger me, right? So yeah, take this as a learning lesson.
Great year. Went to the RC because I was goofing around in PE and C.
This is what you always do. I mean, not to be honest, I still goof around now, right? I mean, act up like a goof off kid. So yeah, goofing, you just goof around, during your free time, right? But just not doing when you're busy. So it's a problem, and it wouldn't be a problem, right? But yeah.
Blaming my time, my own behavior. It's getting worse. It's not getting any better. I show you an example. So sorry from third
Sorry,
grade.
this is going a little video. I think this might go up to an hour because yeah. Even though it's 15-minute video, I'm just reacting to it, but yeah, this video is so old now, man. See? There's a lot of things I forgot to say already, right? A lot of things I forgot. I said in the video, I only remember like very few things, right? And I've been uploading tons of videos, so I'm not gonna remember everything. Of course not.
Of course, man. I say tummies a lot. Tummies. Yeah, and it annoys people.
Okay, you just being a weirdo, man. This is, yeah, just me saying lots of random words, right? I mean, yeah, it's just what I usually do, right? From childhood, elementary, to middle school, to high school, and even, after college. Just, being autistic and saying these weird random words,
And then,
I think that's what.
in my junior high, I keep saying more random shit, which I shouldn't be saying in school. This is why I get in trouble in Horner Junior High. And then in 8th grade, I start saying more tummies and running around. It's not funny. I think it's funny, but it's not funny. And when I was a freshman, my behavior gets way out of control.
Okay, man, you're just going off topic, right? You should just talk about, what just happened today. I mean, October 21st, 2015, right? Don't talk about what happened, like freaking like 20 years ago. Of course, I wasn't 20 years old in this video, right? 1 year, not even like 1 month ago, right? You shouldn't even talk about it. 1 week ago. Talk about what happened now, right? You're just going off topic, right? Look, man, if you stay more on topic, maybe people will more respect you, and maybe more people will like, and this video could have been much more viral, right? Of my 10-year suspension 10 years ago, right? I'm like, yeah, 10-year suspension, that would be super severe, man. I would have been expelled, right? You just talk about what happened long ago, that people don't even care, right? Do I care what happened 10 years ago? I don't care, right? I'm just reacting to it just for you see, like how stupid I was, 10 years ago, right? How much of a goddamn idiot. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, you just need to work on this, man. Not staying off topic, right? Maybe the video would have been a lot shorter. Maybe I would have been a lot shorter, in this video, right? But yeah, sorry about this, man. But yeah, get mad at myself, 10 years ago. Not just me now. Get mad at myself, right?
So I got in trouble 3 times in my freshman year. First time I got in trouble with I punched a kid in the arm.
Maybe I should skip through it because you're going off topic. And you're just wasting people's time. You're wasting my time too. You're reacting to this. I only go to the part, where is something new and where I forgot that part. Let's go through it. I'm just gonna fast forward this video.
Yeah, similar to the incident of what just happened yesterday. He told the principal.
Yeah, similarly, you repeat the same mistake again. Yeah, so back in 2013, just because people tell you shut up, you get really pissed about it, right? And you go and hit them, right? Yeah, seriously, because I know we're in school, right? Some people may fight back, and you could get hurt, seriously injured, right? But that didn't happen to me, right? But yeah, I was lucky, no, I should not do this at all. Whether I'm lucky or not, I should not say that.
I got suspended on the top. I went up and scratched a girl is because
Don't need to hear this part. You're still talking off topic.
Controlling problem, guys. Okay. So whoever watched this probably know I got suspended. Know what I've been doing in the past.
Of course. You're oversaying it.
Shitty stuff. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you just say weird things all the time. You remind me just of like a LeBron fan, right? These toxic fan base or these weirdos out there, right? They're so goddamn emotional, right? Couldn't control your emotions, so you have to say something weird or you just want attention, right? Yeah, that's what you are, a weirdo, man. This is why no one likes you. Right? If I would have met this person, in real life, I would not be friends with that dude.
Everyone's watching Spoon Police, FBI. The whole world's watching. I think everyone's watching Spoon Police, FBI. The whole world's watching me right now.
Of course, the whole world's watching you because if it's on private video or if this video gets deleted or terminated or YouTube gets taken down, then nobody's gonna view it, right? Why would police and FBI watch this video, right? What for, man? They got other things to do. They are criminals that are way worse than this, right? Of you just attacking a kid, you think everybody's gonna watch that video? No, right? They got bad things to do in life, and there are way worse people out there, man. That's like doing seriously, just do serious crime. Like I don't have to name this, right? Yeah, there are extremely bad people out there, right? That should be on the most wanted list. And why would these FBI or all these important agents have to watch this, right? Only YouTube is keeping this, right? Only the YouTube AI or the YouTube people watch this, right? or constantly view this. So
Knowing I got suspended today.
suspended.
This will be on YouTube forever. I can never delete
Let me hear this. Let me hear this part again.
I can never delete this video. No, not now. Knowing I got suspended today. And this will be on YouTube forever. I can never delete this video. No matter what.
Of course, I'm definitely not gonna delete this video. I'm leaving it there, to expose your stupidity, right? I disagree with this part, man. But what if YouTube gets shut down? Then what's gonna happen to this video? Gone, right? I mean, yeah, if you could say it's stay forever, but what if I pass away, old age or die, accident or whatever that is, right? What's gonna happen to YouTube then? If YouTube decided to remove it, they remove it, right? It's not gonna stay permanently. I mean, of course, the date you put it, it's gonna be stay as a fact, right? But yeah.
Knowing I suspended, my record stays same forever. Permanently forever. I regret this. I should never
You better.
be stupid again. Never talk about random shit like
Yeah, you're still doing it, man. You haven't changed much. I'm talking about this because it just happened, I know what happened my whole senior year and my whole college year or other younger years, right? I know what happened, right? Don't say, I don't know anything about it. I do. Right? It's 10 years, man. If I would put myself 10 years, then I would have advised, right? But even if I advised myself, I still wouldn't listen. Trust me about it.
Shrek. Something like that. The reason why I keep talking about Shrek is because of the video Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life. About 9 years old who got raped by Shrek. And I
Of course.
thought it was funny, so I keep saying Shrek, Shrek, Shrek. Yeah, and that annoys other people.
Well, maybe next time, you got two choices, right? Of how to avoid, totally getting in trouble and how, to avoid, upsetting other. One, you can just say in your head, right? You don't have to say out loud, right? I mean, or I give you three choices. Two choices, you can say to people that want to hear Shrek all the time. And three, if people are tired of you hearing Shrek and stuff, why don't you just can say at another time, right? If you desperately want to talk about Shrek all the time, just make sure nobody's around you. Exactly, right? If people are tired hearing conversation, or you don't feel like you want to say out loud in front of others, just say when you're by yourself. It's that simple, man. You could have just done this part, but no, you decided to say it, during school time, which is not a smart idea, and yeah, not a good idea at all. And this is what got you, to be out of control. Don't talk about some random word, when people don't want to hear it, right? If people say stop, don't do this, then you just mention it some other time, without angering others. Of course, they're gonna hear it when you're not around, right? So I'm talking to myself 10 years ago.
Is this on?
Reaction.
I'll show you how worse my present behavior is. So not just only I scratched the kid, I also been harassing other people, following people, stalking them, touching them. I have personal spaces problem.
Of course you do. This is why you touch the kid, you attack kid in the first place, right? Of course you have to touch them, right?
Give people a lot of hugs when they don't like hugs.
Okay.
And not just argue.
Now speaking about this, so we're 10 minutes into the video and I'm already recording like half an hour. So you pause the video around like 10:37, something like that. Yeah, I do give a lot of people, hugs, especially girls, right? Said you're going, repeat so many times, but off topic, right? But now I'm gonna have the reaction to that because that's something new. right? That's something said, and I just want to make a reaction to it, right? Please keep your hands to yourself, right? I know that, giving hugs is a really nice thing to do, but not everybody is not into it, right? Or not everybody wants to give a hug. If you want to do something, you have to get permission first. If you want to touch a person, right? You have to get their consent. And if you don't have the consent, if you touch them, then that's considered as sexual harassment, right? Yeah, but I know that it's 10 years has passed by. I've said this again, but this is way before COVID started, right? So yeah, if there was COVID that time, that means you got social distance, no touching, right? I wish COVID happened in that stupid that year. That would prevent me getting in trouble. But still, that would not hold me accountable, right? Yeah, we need to practice social distancing, right? That was happening back in 2020, 5 years after my suspension. Well, almost 5 years, right? Well, a little over 4 years. So yeah, the thing is that's another reason why, you just cannot be touching random people, because you might get their germs, you might get their disease, right? You don't know what disease they're having bring upon them, right? So something you need to be careful, right? Yeah, I mean, if if this person has serious disease and have serious illness, do you want to touch that person? No, right? You seriously do not want to get yourself really sick, man, right? So yeah, I thought about this 10 years ago, right? And I said this 10 years ago, right? So yeah, we know that Ebola exists back then, but there was no COVID-19, no, right?
People hug or attack people. I saw this same random.
Yeah, back then, I have personal space issue, right? Just make sure, if you don't want to invade other people's privacy space, some people need more space than others. It just depends on the person, right? But in just general, you just should be at least be 3 feet away, right? If the person feel like you're being invaded space, there's several things, why you should not invade people's personal space, because, you make them feel scared, you make them feel uncomfortable, you make them feel, not happy, and, they're not going to like you at all, right? And they will never be your friend, right? You don't make friends that way, man. Okay, you respect their personal space, right? You can just talk to them, right? So talking is nothing wrong, but yeah, just don't say a certain thing. Of course, don't offend anyone, by saying something stupid and all stuff, right? But you just use word, right? And they should use word. If a person tell you, you're too close, I do not want to be touched, then just walk away, right? That's what I have to say.
Things, and also keep saying people's names in funny voice. Especially, I keep saying Mason.
That's another way of harassing people. Just keep saying, repeating people's name and saying in the funny voice, right? I hear this, it does sounds kind of funny, but if you just do it over time again and again, then it just doesn't sound. Seriously, you sound like a girl right now, right? And that's embarrassing, man.
And Mason got pissed off, and I pissed off Mason.
Mason,
Good thing he didn't get me
say that in the
because
funny
he thought
voice.
He will knock me out someday. Then I keep so another stupid behavior I've been doing to a student named Tony. I keep bothering Tony, harassing him. I keep picking on him.
Why you do that for, man? What did he do to you?
The stupid thing I've been saying to Tony Hughes is,
I mean, Tony's a really good person, he's a really good student, and he doesn't cause any problem. Why do you pick on him for? You think this is funny? How would you like it if somebody does it to you, right? Yeah.
While my student in high school is, I keep saying Tony makes bomb.
Why do you say weird things, right? And why do you keep saying Tony makes bomb, right? Obviously, this is just another weird things I say, you know. Maybe I should upload a video part me saying weird stuff, right? Just like sport fitness friend, right? LeBron James fans say weird thing, right? And I grew up to be a LeBron fan. You know? My God, they say one of the weirdest thing, Like, it's just unexplained. I couldn't explain it, why I say these weird stuff, right? Unexplainable, man. I don't know where they came up with these freaking phrase. Like, come out of nowhere? Really? See, this is why a lot of people don't like the fan base, don't like weirdos. They just say weird things that makes them think this is funny. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Damn. You are just like LeBron James. Not LeBron James, but his fan base, right? Weird. Tony makes bombs. Seriously, does he have a bomb factory? That's the first thing I want to ask you this, right? How do you know if he makes bombs or not, right? Is he more shoe from Link? Like, can you explain that? Really, man? Can you explain to your audience why are you saying this, right?
Yeah, which is not cool. I thought explained, but I really have to stop saying this. And also, I keep saying, Tony, she was looking kind of dumber.
She was looking kind of dumber from Shrek music. I get it, Tony does look like Shrek just because, he has chubby, just because he's like chubby like Shrek, right? So, in the way I say it, this is making fun of Tony, right? From the video I'm saying, right? You're mocking a student, of his appearances. That is bullying and harassment right there. Right? And I feel like this is another dumb thing, that I harassed a student and the student did not tell on me, right? This is why I didn't get in trouble for it, right? Now you mentioned on YouTube, school could have looked at this and could have suspended you some more. So, yeah, you're being really dumb, really, man. Being really stupid. You know that school can track, but lucky school did not track me, right? I seen that student get in trouble, just for posting things online, right? That they shouldn't be posting, right? I heard that kids get suspended or expelled, right? But yeah, your YouTube is not very popular, not very viewable, not many subscribers back then. It's just plain empty, right? So nobody's gonna take this seriously. I mean, if they do, be too much work, right? But still, don't ruin yourself, man. Right? Next time, just try better, and you didn't try it.
The song All Star from Shrek. So, yes, and I keep calling RJ Victor, and he wants to be called RJ.
Weirdo, man.
That has a lot. I've been doing lots of stupid things. Not just only I annoy people. I also, when I jog around the neighborhood, I've been
Off topic again.
asking permission, looking at their sticker, taking a picture of it.
What does that have to do with your suspension?
I'm a thief trying to write their sticker.
What?
Car or something, or driver license. Anything.
You go jog around neighbor and just take a picture of their stickers, right?
You put your driver license on me, and so.
Who cares? This is police job, right? Stay on topic. I told you this a million times. Why do you do other people's job? Are you a policeman? No, right? Nobody cares about who didn't pay their DMV and all that stuff, right? I talk about the sticker tag on the back, right? Talk about the year, right? And the date it expire, right? Not your job, not my job. If you're a policeman watching this and you're a policeman, paid to do this work, then you should be responsible, police, right? But yeah, I highly doubt no policeman ever watch my video. Highly doubt it, man. And if they do, good for them. Whatever, man. right?
I tell myself I need to behave. I need to behave because I'm a senior and I'm almost adult. I'm currently 17 years old.
Yes.
So, someday if I keep being annoying, one of these days I will be killed or end up in jail.
That's right. You live in reality, right? This is the part I agree, right? So, yeah. You know, someday, one of these days, you might cross to another person, and if you cross the line, if you go too far into them, then yeah, that's gonna happen to you, right? Or people are so fat, like they're gonna go real hard after you, right?
Yes, the reason why I will end up in jail is because I'm very close to 18. I'm 10 months away from being 18 right now.
Of course. Of course, prison and jails are meant for adults, right? You get arrested, you go to juvenile. So, yeah. Juveniles are only for people under 18, right? So, yeah. The time you commit a crime, if you're under 18, then juvenile it is.
If you guys watching this, just be sure this YouTube will appear at least 10 years, 20 years.
Yep, it did make 10 years. It did. But yeah, it just depends on the future, right? But so far, it's successfully been sitting on YouTube for 10 years. So nothing to congratulate yourself because you did something stupid, right? You did something inappropriate. Not gonna congratulate this milestone. Not. No.
There's 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, or whatever year. Just please watch this.
10 years already.
I'm just
I did watch it. I did watch a video. You told me to please watch it. I did watch your video, right? I gave you, a good amount of feedback. And I'm gonna have to give you some more. It's coming.
Just try to stay away from being suspended. Well, first of all, try to stay away from being trouble, then you don't have to worry about the consequences.
That I
Got
agree.
it? Pretty sure you got it. Okay, man. Yeah,
This is the max volume I can turn on highest, and if you can't hear most of it, you can just replay and watch 15 minutes video of it, right? You can just skip through. There's just a lot of things that I shouldn't be saying in this video, right? But yeah, I might have a brain up from like a little kid back then, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I was questioning this and I was shocked, right? I should not be acting shocked, right? This is not a surprise to everyone. This is not. And this should not be even be a question about this. You even touch a student like this, you get in trouble. You get detention, you get suspended, right? You know it. Don't act like you don't know it at all, right? Don't act so innocent.
Well, the reason why I get suspended is, and the reason why I stopped my behavior for the last 16 years, because I never listened. Never listened to people's word. And I'll show you on YouTube a boy with a skater who has the same listening problem as I do. Either.
So you're showing other people's bad behavior similar to yours, right? But the question is, did you fix it? I know you got suspended a few months right after this, right? Like, yeah, you're mostly lying.
And he will get arrested because here it comes. I'll show you real quick about the boy.
Wow. I was totally in a different house now.
And he will get arrested because he's a skater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys?
Okay. Yeah, you did show an example, but not the whole thing because I get the videos cut off right here. So, wow, this go longer than I expected, right? So, I made a lot more. I did reaction to his video, back in 2017, if I remember correctly, right? So yeah, I'm done watching my videos of of me being suspended in my back in my old high school year, right? So yeah, overall this video really suck in my opinion, right? So yeah, but I do have to come up with excuses. I was too young back then. I didn't know a lot of what to say, right? I was surprised, but if this happened to me in the same mature way, exact same circumstances, I would have made probably been a lot shorter. I would have put a lot more much more mature thoughts, right? A lot of this is just immature, right? So yeah, you should focus. So this is how I'm gonna improve this video, right? And more than people read me. Next time, when something happens to you on that day or the reason why you get in trouble, you should always explain, what actually got you there specifically. All of you should just focus on your one thought, right? Not going off topic, right? So yeah, I got lots more things to say in this video, right? And you do not hold yourself accountable for so many fucking years, right? You look like a clown, right? So yeah, this should be a live stream reaction, but I don't want to record a live stream, right? Yeah, I just don't want to disturb people, because when live stream, I mean people who's trying my channel, they're gonna watch this live. I don't want to do that, man. Don't want to disturb their privacy. Gotta respect people's privacy so people can respect my privacy, right? But yeah, this same old lame shit, that you're acting like a fake tough guy, right? So this is why Abraham did not attack me back, because obviously he knows he can get in trouble, right? I know that back in 2013, I agree that you had to be a little off topic, because you did attack a student that similar way of what happened in 2015. The guy told you shut up, and then you go and you beat him up, kick him or whatever, right? And then I did told him in, and he did got in trouble too, right? So Abraham did one good thing, he totally did the right things. He told the principal, and he did not attack back, right? I guess because he doesn't have anger issue. But then a few months later, when I talk about Shrek, he doesn't care about it anymore. So yeah, it's kind of he should have ignored, right? But it's a good thing it's kind of good that he did hold me a little accountable, right? I get it, like holding yourself to a standard is really hard, right? You gotta do it, man. This is why I feel like I have not gotten better in so many years, right? This is why like it just came all repetitive again, right? Not holding myself accountable, right? That's why I've been told, right? You should hold yourself to a standard, right? Everybody should be held to the same standard, right? So yeah, you gotta hold people the same standard, though. That way you treat people fairly. People will be treated fairly, and they do not make no BS, right? So yeah, holding yourself to a standard will actually realize what you did wrong, and fix it, and make you better, right? You don't hold yourself accountable, then you're gonna be the same person you were yesterday, or you end up being worse, right? And I hate this kind of tactic that happens now even to daily, right? I've been seeing this a lot. I was much bigger than Abraham, right? And he was much smaller than me, right? I don't know how much smaller, but yeah, I was a really big dude back then, right? Let me estimate. I weighed about 105, 10-ish, 5'11-ish, about 180 pounds. Whereas Abraham, he's probably maybe 120 or less, right? You attack somebody, that is much smaller than you. That is lame old fucking shit, right? This is what fake tough guys do, right? They talk all that shit, right? Or either, they attack people, that are way, have disadvantage to them. They know they cannot win in a fight, right? If me and Abraham got into a fight, I would say that I can beat him up, pretty easily, right? This is a bully, man, right? They pick on people, size, that too small for them. You know it's all bully, right? If you go to every single school, or you see every single video or every single movie scene, right? You see that bullies are much bigger than these little guy that know they cannot fight back, right? Because they're way too small and they're defenseless, right? This is why, I attack Abraham. Now, don't get me wrong here, but if Abraham was bigger than me, I probably will have less chance of attacking him, because he can try to fight back, but then he's gonna have to face consequences, and I face consequences as well, right? So yeah, I'm just saying that in the real world, this is why fake tough guys are lame as shit, right? If they pick on the guys that are at the right size, or at just your equal size, or pick a guy that's like bigger than him and stronger than him, then yeah, if I keep messing people, like I might cross this, this one wrong dude, that I might end up getting injured, I may end up getting beat up, I may end up, getting broken, or for sake getting killed, right? This is be careful, you don't mess with people, right? You gotta be careful with that, right? So yeah, that you gotta make yourself awareness, right? That old video that I showed to you, I was not aware, right? So yeah, man, I guess that's what I kind of agree with that part, to say that, oh, like I didn't use like all my strength, to really, like to hurt this person, right? He does feel hurt, right? But I can give him like bruises, I can give him, I can break his arm and something like that, right? So yeah, that can lead to serious exposure and all stuff, right? But good thing, I didn't went too far, right? That's a good thing that I should have reacted straight to this video when I just watched this, right? So yeah, some people they push way too far, right? They like end up killing, or they hospitalize people, man, right? So yeah, the action wasn't that kind of bad. I mean, that's why it's kind of reasonable to make 1-day suspension, right? I guess the school was reasonable, right? You can say that, but if you think Irvington was not reasonable, or school wasn't reasonable, just comment below, right? If you don't agree with what I said, or what the school said, or what the school did to me, right? So yeah, man. And also, before I end this video, it's very important that you definitely should not get suspended. Never aim to get suspension, because once you get suspended, it goes on your record, right? You will not be happy and stuff. Like, okay, this is why you should definitely avoid being suspended, right? Do not ever do stupid things, right? If you don't do stupid things, that can get you suspended, then you don't have to worry about consequences, right? And then, not only that, your family's not gonna be happy with you, right? So yeah, nobody's gonna be happy, and you're gonna lose friends, right? Because friends only want to hang out with good people, right? You're gonna lose some friends, not all of it. So yeah, man, yeah, that's something said right there. So yeah, I mean, anything you do, and anything big you did, back in high school, or whatever it is, or workplace, or whatever, if there's something negative about you, it goes on your record. So you have to be really careful what you do in life, right? The world's watching, right? You think they're not, right? Even if it doesn't go on your record, the world is watching you. So don't think you can hide, like what you're supposed to not be doing. You cannot hide, right? God is watching you, man, from up the sky, right? I'm pointing at the sky. So thank you for listening to your 1 hour reaction, and yep, lots of say. Bye bye.